So, I never wanted a 9 to 5. Not growing up, not in college, not even after graduation. I've always pictured my life differently. More freedom, more control, more ownership of my life. I didn't imagine waking up to my alarm, having to commute, and being delegated for 8 hours a day. And for a while, I feel like having a 9 to 5 was a form of an invisible test that I somehow failed. I think it's because social media makes it seem like everyone is like building a brand, quitting their jobs dramatically, and running their own businesses. And I'm just over here clocking in. But here's what I've learned. Just because you never wanted a certain thing doesn't mean it doesn't benefit you. And just because you're somewhere temporarily doesn't mean you're stuck in it forever. Like I said, I never wanted a 9 to 5, but I learned how to use it, and that changed everything. What people don't realize is that stability is so underrated, right? A consistent paycheck, predictable income, and structure in your day, that's not failure. That's actually foundation. You can't build confidently from panic. Once you know that your bills are being paid, that calms your nervous system. And when you're calm, you're making smarter decisions. You're not making decisions based on desperation. You're building from strategy. And that energy is completely different. So I started looking at my 9 to 5 differently. Instead of asking myself, how can I escape this? I started asking myself, how can I use this to fund my future? Every paycheck became optionality, investment, savings, equipment. So instead of resenting it, I used it. There's power in being able to gain resources while you're building instead of forcing yourself to move faster than you're ready for. And so now you're not saying yes out of fear, you actually get to choose, and choosing is leverage. And another thing that I realized is that your 9 to 5 is actually training you. It's training you on professionalism, it's training you on communication, structure, and time management. And those skills don't disappear when you leave. If anything, they actually sharpen as well. The discipline of you showing up consistently even when you don't feel like it. That's the same discipline you need to build something of your own. So instead of separating my job from my dreams, I started integrating them. Like, what can I learn here? What can I practice here? What can I improve here? That mindset shift made me feel empowered instead of trapped. I also had to confront something uncomfortable. Part of me didn't like the idea of a 9 to 5 because it didn't match the aesthetic of independence, but freedom isn't aesthetic, it's financial and is mental. Sometimes freedom is building quietly, clocking in, stacking money, and developing skills. That doesn't make you behind, it makes you disciplined. There's something special about building without pressure. When your survival doesn't depend on your side project, you can take risks. You can experiment, you can fail. Instead of rushing growth, you can actually build on it. And I realized I don't want rushed success. I want sustainable success. And sustainability requires structure. I stopped asking, when can I quit? And started asking myself, when will I be ready? Ready financially, ready mentally, not emotionally, because emotions fluctuate. But preparation is measurable. When I leave, if I leave, it won't be from frustration. It will be because I'm in the position to leave. So your 9 to 5 isn't a trap. It's a trap when you stop using it intentionally. But when you see it as capital, structure, training, it becomes powerful because this isn't settling. It's about building in phases and trusting that slow growth beats impulsive escape. And if this resonated with you, comment leverage, because sometimes the thing that you feel like is holding you back is actually holding you up. So, no, I never wanted a 9 to 5, but then I also never wanted to build my future from panic. And I think that's the part that we skip over. We romanticize the leap, we glamorize the exit, and we post the resignation letters. But we don't always show the preparation for that. We don't always show the years of quiet positioning. The savings, the checks, the quiet discipline. And that's what I'm in right now. Not a life sentence, a position in season. Because here's the truth, I don't want to quit just to say I quit. I want to leave when I'm strong and when I can survive on my own 2 feet. When my savings aren't fragile, when my skills are undeniable, and when my discipline is proven. And that's a different kind of freedom. Not aesthetic freedom, not social media freedom, real life freedom. The kind where you're not anxious every month, the kind where your decisions are not emotional, the kind where walking away feels less chaotic and more calm. I think a lot of us confuse urgency with ambition, but urgency is loud and quiet doesn't mean you're behind. So if you're in your 9 to 5 right now and you feel embarrassed right now or impatient, maybe you're not stuck. Maybe you're just strengthening your skills. Maybe this is the season where you're building your savings, growing discipline. And one day, when you pivot, it won't feel like an escape. It's going to feel like evolution. I'm not using my 9 to 5 to stay forever, but I'm also not using it as something to resent because this is not about settling. Everything doesn't have to happen all at once. And sometimes the most powerful move is not the loudest one, it's the most prepared one. Not stuck, not behind, just positioned. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah.